Hey, everybody. Hey there. Hey there. I hope that you are having a fantastic evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Kat Dunn, and I would love to talk to my consultants, trainers, course creators, those of you all who know that you want to level up and start offering your courses to businesses. Okay. You want to start offering your courses to businesses. So I'm going to start today with a line from one of my favorite movies. Okay. You can't handle the truth. Okay. Well, maybe you can. All right. But we're going to see during this live stream. Okay. Here's the truth. If you are a trainer, a consultant, a speaker, or a coach, or somebody with expertise, and you know that businesses could really benefit from your expertise, you probably do not have an information problem. Okay. There's information everywhere. Okay. You've got LinkedIn, you've got your sales navigator, you have your chat GPT, you got Google, you got Gemini, you have Apollo. I mean, there's no shortage. You got spreadsheets, you have lists on top of lists. You've got prompts on top of prompts. And yet you sit down at your computer, blank screen that it is, and still have this question: what do I actually do? Who do I contact? Which company do I start with? What do I say when I do reach out to them? Right? Is this company worth spending time with? I don't have a lot of time. Should I be on LinkedIn today? Maybe I should be sending out emails, right? Should I go to this networking event or that networking event? Should I buy this new tool or this new thing? And that's where the problem really starts, because it's kind of like, remember that movie Squirrel, Squirrel? That's what it begins to feel like. Because when you don't know what to do, it becomes very easy to get distracted and then paralyzed sometimes. Somebody says, you need to build an AI tool. That's what you need to do. Squirrel. Okay. Then somebody else says, you need to buy, invest in Sales Navigator. Squirrel. Now you're trying to figure out how to use Sales Navigator for $100 a month, right? Somebody says, you need to go to more networking meetings. That's what you should be doing. Here goes that pesky squirrel again, right? Somebody else says, all right, it's time for you to, you need a new community. And now you're trying to find new communities to join, and you're getting caught up in all of that. Then somebody tells you that you need a funnel, you need a website, you need an email sequence, you need a CRM, you need a certification, and it just goes on and on and on. And squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. And 6 months later, a year later, you're absolutely exhausted and you spent a lot of money and not a whole lot to show for it. Who am I talking to? Just put me down in the chat. And you're still asking the question, what should I actually be doing to get corporate clients? I know I need to talk to somebody, but where do I start? Right? And I've been thinking a lot lately about why this happens and what's really going on. And here's what I believe. When we don't know what to do to start making money, we start spending money. That's what happens. You just start spending money. I really want you to think about that. Spending money makes you feel like you're doing something. I joined the program, right? I bought the software. And for a few minutes, you feel like you really accomplished something. I registered for the conference. I went to the conference. I hired the coach. I upgraded to Sales Navigator. I bought the database or I bought the list. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of those things, right? None of those things is a wrong or bad thing to do. But ask yourself, why did you do it? Why did you invest in it? Why did you buy it? Did you know exactly what problem you needed it to solve? Or were you just getting it, right? Or were you hoping that buying it would finally tell you what to do? Those are two completely different things. And sometimes we keep buying answers because we don't have a confident way forward. That's what happens. And I've seen it so many times with many people that I've spoken with over the years. Some of you have literally spent thousands of dollars attending conferences, right? You got there and you were inspired, you had a lot of fun, you saw people you knew, you took pictures, you exchanged business cards and all the things. You posted the selfie, right? You did the social media interview and you came home with a notebook full of ideas. And then Monday morning came and you sat down at your computer and said, okay, now what? Now what? Some of you joined communities because you thought, if I can just get around the right people, somehow I'm going to figure it out. And again, there's nothing wrong with community. I have communities, right? And I'm in communities. But sometimes you get there and discover you're in a room full of other people who are trying to figure out what to do. Everybody's looking at everybody else. Everybody's sharing another strategy. And next thing you know, you're going down another rabbit hole because now you've got even more information. But you still don't have a clear answer to what should you do next. You. And here's what I want you to understand. This is where I want to challenge you. You may already have access to most of what you need. You probably don't need another list. Don't buy another list, please. You might not need another tool. You might not need another 200 prompts. You may not even need other courses to take. The problem may be that nobody has taught you where to look and how to look, because a lot of that information is gate kept. Because if you're trying to sell your expertise to organizations, I don't want you spending all of your time looking for more companies. Companies are everywhere. Information is everywhere. I want you asking a different question. A different question, a deeper question. What is happening inside these companies that would make them want to talk to me today about this? That is a very, very different question. That's a different question for very serious people about this, right? And this is where my own background sort of comes in. I've spent more than 20 years in learning and development, leadership development, and organizational work. And I've been in the rooms where these decisions actually get made. And I've been in the conversation. I've even hosted events for these exact conversations to take place. What are we going to invest in? That's what they're asking. What do our leaders actually need? What do our people need? And what has changed? What isn't working or isn't working anymore? What capabilities do we actually need inside of our organization? What do we need to do differently in 2027, right? That we didn't do in 2026. What gets attention? What gets the investment dollars? And what can wait? Right? And what isn't getting any money? So when I look at an organization, right? And when our clients are looking at organizations, we're not looking at a company name. We're looking at what's happening inside the business. That is a different conversation. I better put this charger in. You know? And there's something that happens first. Okay? Something that changes. Something becomes important. Something isn't working. These are triggers. These are signals. Something the organization wants to accomplish requires people to do something different. And that's where you come in. That's where you come in. Not at LinkedIn sending a random message. Here's another mistake that I see consultants making, experts, trainers, right? You're constantly trying to find out who needs my training. That's hard to know from the outside looking in. So I want you to stop trying to read people's minds, right? I know it feels like that's what you have to do, but you don't. Instead, I want you to read the business. That is easier to do if you know how, right? Ask yourself, what is actually happening here? What is changing? What are they actually trying to accomplish? What problems are becoming visible? It's going to become visible at some point. What priorities are emerging? And then, and this part really does matter. Does any of it intersect with what I know how to do? Because see, not every company is your opportunity. That's where you get caught up wasting a lot of time. Not every organizational change has anything to do with you. That's okay. Knowing where not to spend your time is valuable too. Because now we're eliminating the random, right? The time wasters that end up sucking all the life and time out of our day. Let's say you got 500 companies, right? Sitting over in Sales Navigator. Okay, great. Which one are you going to call tomorrow? Do we know? Most people cannot answer that. Most people are paying for a Sales Navigator, have no idea where to start. So they sort by things like employee size or maybe industry or maybe geography, right? Maybe they find the CHRO or the CEO, and then what? Then what? Hi, I'm Catherine. I provide leadership development solutions and I would love to connect. Delete, mute. They're not going to answer that because see, you're approaching the organization based on what you sell. No. And the next thing you know, you're reaching out to some random person who's now trying to sell you. Now imagine that you approach it differently. Before you decide an organization deserves your time, you understand what's really happening there. Now you're not starting with, how can I sell my course? No, you're starting with, why would this organization have a reason to talk to somebody with my expertise right now? That changes your research. That changes everything. It changes who you approach. It changes the whole conversation. And most importantly, it changes where you spend your time. So many of these things that you have purchased to get the answer are just complete waste of time. Now, after you've done this work for more than 2 decades, there are things that I teach my clients to pay attention to. I'm not going to teach all of them on this live stream. We don't have time. But I can tell you this. There are patterns. There are things happening inside organizations that I notice immediately, because I understand what they can mean for learning, leadership, talent, and organizational capability. That is what I mean when I say learn to decode the business, right? It's not magic. This is what companies do every day through organizations like Gartner and Bloomberg and all these other data firms that cost thousands of dollars. And it's certainly not asking ChatGPT, does ABC company need leadership training? Because Chat is happily going to give you an answer. And the answer is probably going to be absolutely yes. You should act on that right away. And then 10 minutes later, you have a different idea and it'll tell you the same thing. Oh, great idea. Not sure how I missed that. Great catch. What? So here's the shift that I really want you to make. Okay? Stop waking up asking, what marketing thing should I do today? Stop. Start asking, where is my expertise relevant today? Stop asking, where can I get another list? Anybody got a list? No. Instead, start asking, what is this list actually telling me? Yeah. Stop asking, what tools should I buy next? What AI shiny new thing should I start trying to learn now? Start asking, what decision am I trying to make? Because tools don't replace knowing what to do. You already know that because it's not working. Information doesn't replace knowing what to do. And a list certainly doesn't replace knowing what to do. Knowing what to do is the flex, is the advantage. That's it. Knowing what to do. How do they know what to do? Data, intelligence. And this is why I'm doing this workshop on August 22nd. I'm not bringing you in there to give you yet another list or another tool or another AI thingamabob. I'm not going to give you 75,000 ChatGPT prompts. And I'm certainly not going to tell you that there's some magic tool that's going to get you corporate clients. We're going to work on something much more fundamental and serious. I'm going to start teaching you how to look at organizations and opportunities differently so that you can be in contention, how to recognize what's happening, how to determine whether it matters to your expertise, how to start deciding which organizations deserve your attention, and how to stop approaching companies with nothing more than a pitch and a prayer. Yeah, time out for that. I want you approaching the market with relevance instead of vibes. So if you know you have expertise organizations can use, but you're tired of sitting in front of that computer wondering what to do next, come spend August 22nd with me. Bring your expertise, bring your course, bring your training, bring your questions, because I promise you, what they have hidden behind the gate, I'm going to share with you. And if you got one of them gigantic lists from Sales Navigator, bring that too. Because it is literally time to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's time to stop chasing every squirrel that runs across your screen. Aren't you tired? It's time to learn how to answer the question that matters. What is happening inside these companies that would make them want to talk to me? Period. That's the simple question. Once you know where to look and how to look, you can make much better decisions about what to do next. And I want you to know what to do. No more spaghetti on the wall. If this resonated with you and you get it, I want to see you August 22nd. Check around this video, check the link around this video, or just message me or my team, and we'll make sure that you're there. I'm not into get rich quick schemes and carrying on. I'm going to show you what serious people already know. They know where to look. They know what they're looking for. So when they do reach out to these organizations, they are confident. They are well positioned. They know what they're saying and why they're saying it. So they have a much better chance at getting the yes. And I want to show you how to do that. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts. Put them down in the comments section below, no matter where you are watching this in the world. I'd love to hear from you. Okay? All right, you guys. I'll see you soon. And until next time, stay on course. See you soon.